Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to the G.R.I.N.D. Simon Arias here. Get ready, it's a new day. One of the things they had question on was speaking on character change. And so, I think that's one where I see people struggle, coming from where we come from, right. Is they say, well, that's just the way I am.
It's the way I am, man. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am.
That's just the way I am. I'm just being me, being myself. And you could fall back on that so often, and that if somebody don't challenge you and check your thinking, people think that that's cool, and that's how they end up staying where they are. Right. You have to change. You have to evolve. You could stay true to who you are. Correct. I mean, I love when you tell me and encourage me, because you're somebody that, Perm will keep it real with me. He'll tell me if I look like shit.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that. He'll 100%. Tell me, can't wear that. Shit looks wrinkled.
Right.
Your hair's jacked up.
Yeah.
Your eyebrows are wild. We got to get this shit fixed. Right. Don't look right. You look like shit.
Right.
Your pants, you got to change that. Those are all, and I love that. Yeah. So I know when you tell me something, it's genuine. Right. So when you start telling me, man, you funny, man, you the same cat. You know what I mean? I'm the same, but I'm not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, a lot of things are not the same.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? But I am the same.
Correct.
And so I think what people got to understand in changing, character development and changing, is that you can keep the root of who you are as a person, but people do need to change some things in order to go, to the next level and develop who they are as a person a little bit. Tell me about what you think about that. Because character changing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've watched you change.
Yeah, man. You like you say, man, you have to change. I mean, being, growing up from where we came from, in that environment, we had to be who we were because that was that environment. You know what I mean? That's what we did. That's just what it was. As moving, to North Carolina was a big change. Different world, different place, different avenues. So you had to just, respect everyone, just talk to everyone, just be you, you know what I mean? And I've always been me, you know what I'm saying? I'm always that lovable, huggable, what's up, dog? How you doing? That's just me, but I know.
What things have you stopped doing that you think has helped you to progress in your life? Like, what things have you cut off? What things have you changed to progress?
It's just your surroundings, 100%. Like, some of the people, you gotta, you
love
have
them
to
from
change.
a distance.
Yeah, looking from a distance. You just gotta say what's up and keep it moving. You know what I mean? It is what it is, because some people can't adapt to the things that you're trying to do. Like, your change is a different change than what they want to change.
That's huge.
Or they want to be, so you gotta let them be them, but you gotta continue on and being you. And if you want to change and do something better and change your life and your family's life, then you gotta learn how to change.
That's huge. I mean? That's huge. I think that's a big one. When people look at change and going to the next level, oftentimes, and this ain't just people in the hood. This is people in a good area.
Right, period.
This is everybody.
Right.
If you want to go to the next level, you got to let go of some people that don't want to go to the next level, because you only have so much time. You only got so much energy.
Right.
It's like taking a trip up a mountain. You don't take bagfuls of hundreds of pounds of stuff. You take the bare essentials to get up that mountain, keep yourself light.
Right.
If you're climbing the mountain of greatness, you can't take everybody with you at the same time.
Okay.
You can go up there and try to share the view. If people are willing to climb a little bit, you can give them a hand up and help
100%.
them. But you got to be able to let some people go that are not trying to go to that next level, and that's difficult, especially for people with a big heart. That was hard for me to just go and be able to come back and do some things with some people, but not everybody. Okay. Because they don't want to progress and they don't want to change. I think when one of the questions that I have that I saw written down that I want to speak on that was big.
Tell me about it.
Was tell us why. It says, tell us why you should always strive to be better, but be realistic about your expectations. So that one's huge, because most people don't think big enough, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to talk about the people that do think big. I got some young folks that think super big, and I love it. I wouldn't want to tame that for nothing. And I'm the last person that's going to tell somebody, no, you can't do something.
Right.
But there are steps that you need to take in order to get somewhere. There are some things that are just unrealistic. You're not being a hater. If somebody walks in and says, yeah, man, I'm just boxing for the first time, and the goal is they say, well, I'm gonna win the whole world. I'm gonna win the world title next year. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's not. It's not gonna happen.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No, you're not gonna beat Bones Jones.
No.
In 12 months, you're not going to be good enough in 12 months. So it's going to, if you set that goal for 7 years from today or 5 years from today, we could talk about it. It's going to be a whole lot of work though over them 5 to 7 years, but it's not going to happen, in a year. So I think it's critical for people to have realistic goals on their way. And, I also quote to say realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful with being too realistic, but you have to be somewhat in the stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff you're thinking about has to be at least in the stratosphere. It could be big, but it got to be somewhat real. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat possible. I'm gonna do 100 million next year, and I'm like, man. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've been here for a while.
Probably not. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important for you to think big. But implement realistically right now and start saying, all right, what is the first step that I need to do? Like if I'm last, and this is not just sports. I'm in sport mode because I just spoke to the Penguins.
Right.
But let's talk about, I'll use a sporting analogy.
Right.
If you're fifth on the depth chart, you're not starting. You're not the first.
Correct.
Okay?
Fifth.
It's not realistic to say, I want to go from fifth to first in the next month or the next 3 months or even maybe in the next year. That may be possible, but that's a fight. That's a struggle. But it may be realistic to say I want to go from fifth on the depth chart to next year being a starter and the year after being a captain and implementing those and then having a game plan of, how that's going to happen. So that's what I try to bring people back down to earth with. Of like, okay, you got the first part down. Your thoughts are in line because you got to think right. So your thoughts are in line. You believe in yourself. That's a huge one. Right. You believe in yourself. You got a big vision. Great. Now, how is this going to happen now? You explain to me how you plan on
doing what you need to be doing.
Getting good enough to beat Bones Jones in the next 12 months because that's a tall task. And so I want to break it down for them and say, okay, you're going to train how many days a week, or you're going to role play, you're going to practice, or whatever your business or thing is. Let's break it down into what is the exact game plan. Just like a bodybuilder would say, okay, I want to put on 20 pounds of muscle in 6 months. And so what's the plan? Here's how many calories I got to eat. Here's how many meals I got to eat a day. Here's what my workout is for the day. Here's what my workout's going to be for the week. Here's the supplements that I'm going to take. Here's the game plan on how it's going to happen in order to make those things happen. And so I think if you can implement yourself, to do these things realistically while you're thinking big, people will go a long way.
Love that. How do you recover from failing? How do you recover from a failing?
How do you recover from a failure? Basically, is what they're trying to ask. Okay. Yeah. So I think how you perceive it first is everything. So is it really failure or is it just part of the process?
Part of the process.
You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of times it's not truly
100%
failure. It's the way you're looking at it is failure because you can't have success without having some forms of failure. So I guess if we want to say it's failure, I guess it is failure, but you can't have success without failure.
Okay.
And so all the people that have ultimate levels of success in anything, they fail their way forward.
Anything.
That's what I think is the difference is people have failure and they get deterred and they start quitting.
Boom.
And so they lose the battle. And then other people have failure and they don't get any better from that failure. They don't learn. They start making the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's okay to make a mistake. That's how you learn.
Gotcha.
But you can't make the same mistake over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because now you're not learning. And so I think about failure. Failure is the building blocks to success. I think you can eliminate some of the failure by asking for wisdom and doing things that people that have been before you will tell you to do and what not to do and implementing those things. But there's always going to be a level of failure that you have to do on your own. Like I don't care how much I watch somebody do something while I'm grappling or, or jiu-jitsu or something, like I still have to do it on my own, and I'm still gonna fail a bunch of times before I get it right. And so I think if your perspective on it is right, of understanding of, I know I'm probably not going to get it perfect the first time, but if I don't try, I'm not going to even start to make progress. And when I do fail, I try to fail less, 10 times from now than I fail right now. I'm getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so I think the way that people, how do you get over that? I think you look at it as looking at the things that you're grateful for. Bobby was on the podcast and he talked about, him doing almost 10 years in prison, and he didn't have a license till 2052, and
that's crazy.
And all that stuff. It's like, okay, well,
that's what they said he couldn't get, right?
He got it in 6 months, but it took the bus to get to work. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that is perspective of, all right, people think they're failing, but they're not looking at how much they've actually truly ended up accomplishing so far, and looking at the positives to it and controlling the things that they can control. What can you control? Because dwelling don't get you
nowhere.
Success. So if you're dwelling, I pound this into your head. You know what I mean? When you felt bad and over the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, we got to control what we can control, P. Good thing is your daughter wasn't in the car. You wasn't in the car. Everybody gets to walk away. It sucks. Right. I mean, we love that car. Right. It's a great car. Right. This is bullshit. Right. We got to get another car. This is the second time it happened to you, to no fault of your own, but
it is what it is.
Grace of God, we got means to get another car. Grateful for that. Grace of God, nobody got injured.
Right.
Grateful for that. And so I think if people can look at the grateful things, things that they're grateful for in the process of those failures, and then look at themselves for how far that they're coming versus how far that they have to go. And making sure that they understand that everybody that they've looked up to and admired has failed. It's just about not giving up and trying to learn from every one of those failures and keep moving forward.
Boom, boom. Well, this is a good question. What does this quote mean to you? Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it.
Okay.
Was that Lou Holtz?
Lou Holtz. Yeah. All right. So the ability is what you're capable of doing. Okay, so that's your talent.
Right.
That's what you're capable of doing.
Any talent,
whatever it is.
Have.
Yep. This is what your ability is. So this is where you hear people say, "Man, that kid is gifted," or "That dude is gifted. He got potential." Great. Okay, that's good. That's your capacity. So that's like this water jug, this water bottle is 33.8 fluid ounces. Okay. So the capacity of this, the ability of this, is 33.8 fluid ounces, the ability to carry water. That's their capacity.
That's what can fit in there.
Can't fit 60 ounces. Okay. This is 33.8. So that's your ability, as an example.
Correct.
Okay. Motivation determines what you do. So now I got the ability to do this. I got the ability to do something with this, but now what am I going to do with it? That's your inspiration. That's your motivation of, all right, I got this gift. I got this talent. Now what am I going to do with it? But your attitude, and I think your attitude has a lot to do with your perspective, how you look at things, 100%. How you see things, how you view things. Yep. Your attitude determines how well that you do it. So I think what he's trying to say is people got a gift, that you have a certain level of capacity of potential. Being motivated to do it determines what you're going to do. If I'm inspired, if I'm motivated to do it, I'll do it. But there's a way to drink water.
Yep.
And then your attitude determines, you just do it a little bit different because you got a positive attitude. It determines how well you do it. You could serve somebody their food as a waiter, but your attitude can be on point, and it's just different, the food. Right. Because they always say, people don't always remember what you said, but they always remember how you made them feel. And so that a lot can be with your attitude. Like Absolutely. Your attitude towards something is how you're going to approach it, how you're going to do that thing. The motivation gets you kind of going towards it. Your potential is what you can do with it, but it's that attitude that's going to determine your latitude. That's the attitude determines how high you can go. Yeah. And so I think it's mastering what he's trying to say is that at the base of everything, man, is you determining that I'm going to do it with a positive attitude. You can't build a successful life with a negative attitude. You build a positive life with a positive attitude and a positive perspective is what I think the OG Lou Holtz was trying to say. That's what I think.
That's what you think?
Yep.
All right, now we got this one. This is all you. This is what we live for. This is Get ready. It's a new day. This is what we do. Are you ready for this question?
Sure.
Explain why the grind, why does that word mean so important to you? Like, why grind means so much to you?
This is what I want to close on.
Where did you come from? Like, where did you think, when you wanted to do the grindcast, like, how did you figure and where did you come up with it?
Christy helped me. You know the babysitter, Christy?
Yeah.
Christy helped me. We were sitting outside of my house in Florida on Treasure Island, you know, which I had was on the beach.
Nice.
Overlooking the water. And I told her what I wanted to do.
You said this is what you want to do.
This is what I want to do. And I started to get the vision of, all right, I want to do a podcast. I want to start to motivate. You know what I mean? It's what I feel like I'm called to do,
right.
blah, blah, blah. And she said, man, all you like, if I had to describe you in a word, you know, you always talking about grinding. You're always talking about grinding. I'm grinding. And so we started to look at that. And then we started to look at, all right, what can grind stand for? Also is get ready. It's a new day. Because every day is a new day. Nobody cares about what you did yesterday. You can't even control what you're about to do tomorrow, but you can only control today. Yesterday may have sucked. Yesterday may have been great, but it's over with. Get ready. It's a new day. You got opportunity. You woke up today. Not everybody woke up today. Right. So get ready. Amen. It's a new day, dog. It's a new day. You woke up. You got an opportunity. And to grind is to do shit to me. To me, sometimes it's to do shit that you don't really want to do, or it's not even that you don't want to do it. It's maybe I'd rather do something else. Okay, like you can't say that you wouldn't rather be on Miami Beach chilling with a pina colada with people that you love and just having a good time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a choice that I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna grind. Right. It's a mindset. It to me, it's like, all right, I'm gonna get gritty. I'm gonna get dirty a little bit. But instead of going to work with a hard hat and a lunchbox and to get gritty that way, in some ways it is that way for people. And in other ways in the business world, in the white collar business world, it's all right, I'm gonna grind and I'm gonna take that mindset and I'm going to get my hands dirty in a different way. I'm going to do some things. I didn't want to get up at 4 o'clock this morning. I would have liked to go to 6 or 7. You know, I would have liked to sleep 8, 9 hours. I would have liked to not have to, you know, but to impact people and to change people's lives and to make stuff happen, it ain't always going to be convenient. And so you got to grind through that. Grind to me is doing the work that you're going to thank yourself for 10 years from today. Doing the shit you don't feel like doing right now, that you're going to thank yourself for 10 years from today. I had somebody ask me a question, and it was one of the ones that nobody asked me. I remember the first time it was asked, and I got emotional for a minute. I had to check myself for a minute. I don't want you cracking on me for the next decade that I start crying and shit. You know what I mean? So they asked me, they said, what would the Simon of 2020 say to the 2010 Simon?
Now,
and I had to think about it.
So that's when you started here?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I started here in 2008. But they just said, 10 back years.
Then. Okay.
And I said, it was all worth it. Because when you're going through the process and you don't have everything to show for it yet, all you got is a vision of what you think is going to get you to where you want to go. But in order to get to where you want to go, nobody gives you what you want and then says, all right, do the work. Because that would be easy. It's like, all right, I know that I already got $10 million. Now I just got to go do the work because they gave it to me, already. I just owe the work. All right, I'm going to be happy as shit because I'm going to do all the work. And I know when I get done with the work, they're going to unlock this briefcase and there's $10 million. That's easy to be motivated. But when you're on the grind and you think that you're going to get a payoff 10 years from today, but you don't know for sure, you don't have facts in front of you. I'm going to work hard in the off season as an athlete, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to be the starter, next year. It could be, if you look at that as the only way to win, it could be all for naught, but really you're developing your character for 20, 30 years down the life, because this is where people start to tell you it's about falling in love with the process. You hear people say fall in love with the process. Yeah. It's not about what you get. It's not about what you do. It's about who you become on the journey. because who you become on a journey means that your character gets developed at a point that you could plug and play that with anything. Successful traits are successful traits no matter what the sport is, no matter what the business is. And so it's who you become on that journey. And in order to become who you want to become, who you need to become to get what it is that you want, you have to grind. And to me, grinding is doing the stuff that you don't feel like doing. Inconvenienced. Not for sure 100% going to be a payoff, and it's for sure not going to pay off this week, today.
Right, today.
It's a grind.
It's a grind.
To make a deposit, to make an investment that I think 10 years from today is going to be better because of what I do today. I think 3 years from today, I think 1 year from today, I think 5 years from today, I think something is going to be better because of the commitment that I'm putting into the grind today, the process today of doing shit, winning the argument. Grinding is winning the argument
100.
in your mind of, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But guess what? That's where growth is at.
Right.
That's where growth is at. Everybody, if everybody does work until they get comfortable, then nobody would really separate and grow as much. It's you grow when you get uncomfortable, when you don't want to do it. But it's like, oh shit, this sucks. I don't feel like yes you can. Yes, you can go harder. Yes, you can do more. Yes, this is exactly what you should be doing. Don't give in to the weak voice over there. That the weak voice is not the grind.
Definitely not.
The grind is that person in your head. That's that male or that woman, that dog, mother, father figure, that toughness figure in your head that's telling you suck your shit up. You want something, you got to go out there and earn it. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing.
100.
The more you look for shortcuts, the more you're going to get cut short. That ain't the grind. And the grind is consistently doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because winning is not inconsistency. Winning is consistent. If you want to develop a brand, you want to develop yourself, you got to behave with consistency. The test of greatness and the hallmark of excellence, Jim Trussell told me, was consistency. And so you can't grind for a week and not grind.
Right.
If you want to be great, it's a consistency to where you develop a lifestyle of this is just who I am. This is just how I operate. This is just where we're going. And so that's what the grind means to me. The grind means that you got to get out there and make deposits into your future. Do some things that you don't feel like doing that you're going to thank yourself for 10 years from today, 5 years from today, 2 years from today, when somebody asks you, what would the 2021, what would the 2026 perm say to the 2021 perm? And you want them to say, man, I'm glad that you put in all that work because it paid off, or man, it was all worth it. And that's the mindset that I think people need to have when they're on the grind. So speaking of the grind, I think we grinded through this one. We put this probably Giovanni gonna probably split this in two. That was long.
Yeah, that was long.
So we would like to thank you for joining us on another episode of the Grindcast. We would also like that you help us help you. Right? Go ahead and do it. You loved it. Go ahead.
Yeah, help me, help you, help us.
I like it.
That's it.
One more time for the people in the back.
Help me, help you, help us.
Okay. So we want what we want is we want to help more people.
Correct.
And we want to help you. We want to help you grow. We over here just serving the people.
Loving
we ain't making no money on this.
Oh no.
Not yet. You'll know.
Yeah.
As soon as Perm start making some money, you gonna know about it. Okay. If he making money on the podcast, we're coming soon. Okay, we're coming soon. We got to get Perm paid. But,
let's go.
But we're not making a bunch of money on this. So we just here serving the people. We want to make a difference in your life. We want to make a difference in other people's life. And if we do a good job at it, the only tip that we want is for you to just share it with other people.
That's it. Just share it.
So we're asking you to share it with other people.
Yeah. And we appreciate everyone out there that sent these questions in.
Yes, appreciate absolutely the time that it took for people to do that. So thanks for joining us on another episode of Grindcast. Get ready, it's a new day.
Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.